$3,280 profit in just 1 month trading options on a $50,000 account. Today, let me walk you through the exact trades that I took and why I took them so that you can get a really good idea of how I use a smaller account to generate consistent income. First and foremost, this is educational purposes only, not financial advice. Do not copy random strangers on the internet. Do your own research and make your own decisions. Now, this is the account that I share inside of the 50K Club. I share all of my trades in real time there, and it is specifically designed for those of you who want to create a consistent monthly income but don't have $1 million account. You can come and join us in there. The first 50 members get access at only $50 a month, and we are just about there. So come join us. The link is in the description if you would like to be part of that. Just some of the results that we had this week, and it's our first week, which is really fun. Bull put spreads closed at 50%, literally overnight. Sold puts closed at 54%, again, overnight. Exited the trade today for a 50% gain over the weekend. These are the kinds of trades that I like in a smaller account because we're in and we're out nice and quickly, which means our capital stays safe and protected. We can get those wins and we can move on to the next trade. Now, firstly, trading a smaller account. I have different goals in my small account than I do in a larger account, right? Number one, don't get assigned on a sold put. I've got many videos that I've done about this. If you're assigned on a sold put, you are guaranteed to be underwater. The only way that you can get assigned on a sold put is if we're trading at 100, if your sold put is at 100 and we're trading below 100. So for a smaller account, I aim to avoid assignment probably 99% of the time. Now, it's also really important that we time our entries so that the trade moves in our favor from day one as best we can, right? We will never get this 100% perfect, but we want to stack the odds in our favor. We also want to recycle our capital as many times as possible. This is key for using a smaller account. If you can use your $50,000 worth of capital twice in a month, it's like you've got a $100,000 account. And this is something that you'll see from me. Trade many of the same stocks over and over and over and over again. One of the biggest mistakes, especially on a smaller account that I see, is having far too many stocks that people trade. And they are jumping from one to one and never get to really understand the way a stock moves. So I like to trade just a few stocks and do it over and over again. The other thing, this is important. I think this is the most important part. Only trade stocks in a bullish trend. So you won't find trades from me on things like SoFi, Palantir, Microsoft, Meta, etc. If it's not in a bullish trend, it is too risky for my likings in a smaller account. What's bullish look like? This. The chart's looking up, 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 up. Yes, we trade. Going down? No, we don't trade. For many reasons, but number one, down is more likely to be met with more down. But number two, there's not good premium in this. People don't want to buy puts or calls on a stock that is this far down. I did a video on that as well. I'll link it in the description, but it's not something that I trade. So this is an example of just one of the trades that I posted in the 50K Club, literally just yesterday. It was a $190 sold put on Soxal, filled at $10.90, already at 50% profit. So if people chose to take their profit today, $500 overnight, that's the beauty of getting a really good entry. And you can see I like to explain why I'm going into the trade and also what you could do if you didn't want to have this full amount of capital in the trade. That said though, let's come and have a look at all of the trades that I put in this account this month. Now, some of the trades that I closed out this month were placed last month. So for example, what's this one? Credo. I had a trade on Credo that I closed out this month. I also had a trade on IGV that I closed out this month, entered last month, and the rest all entered this month. Now, this month was actually a very light on month for me in terms of the amount of capital that I actually traded with. Because, and I'm so sad about it, Tasty Trade, if you're listening, us Australians miss you. We want you back. Tasty Trade closed access to Australians. So I had money here, there, and everywhere, and I didn't have a full $50,000 to work with. So this is, it kind of goes to show you what you can do with what you have, right? 3,280, and there was not one point in time in the month when I actually had a full $50,000 out in play. Okay. So let's take a look at the trades. Now you'll see that I had a put credit spread on Marvel, expired 7/2. That actually closed out really early. That closed out at 6:15 for an $81 profit. Now when it closed out, I actually still liked the look of it. I was like, okay, Marvel, you still look good. So I opened another trade, the exact same thing, put credit spread. I even used the same strikes, but I went out to 7:17. This is still open, right? And I've got a 50% closing order on that. So once this moves into enough profit, that'll close. I will move on. Now, Avgo, AVGO, this was due to expire 7/2, so at the end of this month. End of this week, should I say? I got that wrong. End of this week. I closed it out today at a $38 profit, and I want to show you why. Now, chances are it could have been okay, right? My sold strike was down here. There is a couple of days to go. But do you know the one thing that's worse than a losing trade is a losing trade that you could have exited in profit? So rather than take that risk for the next couple of days, given that we're so close, I just closed that out, banked my profit, and now I've got that capital free and that, oh, will we be okay, out of my mind. And here's the cool thing. Even at $38, because I was in that trade only for 25 days, it's still an annualized return of 72%, right? So that is a fantastic return, even though $38 doesn't look like much. T Triple Q. Now, T Triple Q, I have rolled this a few times over. So closed in profit so far, 265. Open still, I've got another $325 worth of credit. I have a $76 strike that's due to expire next week. So T Triple Q, I still quite like the look of. We are moving up nicely, so I'm just going to let that one sit and percolate, if you like, for a little longer. Soxel, I love to trade, right? And you can see that I've traded it quite a few times. Here, and I've got another trade open. So already last month, 1135, and I had rolled that a few times over. So I did another video last week on how I like to keep rolling my strike up. I rolled from 159 to 180, 180 to 230, and ultimately this one expired worthless, right? I then had another sold put that was due to expire, or that technically did expire last week. And I want to show you something really cool about this trade. So the strike was 220. I literally only opened it the week before, opened 618, expiry 626 for a closed out locked in profit of 467. My strike was 220. Now, if we come and take a look at the Soxel chart, on the 26th, the closing price was 215. Now, I could have taken assignment. And you know what? In hindsight, getting assigned at 220 and today we're trading at 260 would have been fantastic. But, and here's the but, on a small account, it's a gamble, right? Yep, that could have happened. But also what could have happened was we continue to move down. In a larger account, I'd have taken the assignment more than likely, or I maybe would have just rolled it to the following week. But on a small account, my goal is to keep my capital in play without the risk of assignment, because I don't want to be stuck in something when it's coming down. It takes my capital out of play, and that's not the goal that I have for a small account. So even though I could have let it expire and it would have been, of course, at a higher return, I think that original premium that I was paid was like $800 odd. I could have let it expire. I could have taken assignment. I would have been okay. I locked in 467 and I was happy with that, right? $467 for a week. It's a 199% annualized return. So this is why I say I avoid assignment, because this was guaranteed. 467 was guaranteed. The rest of it, not, right? But when I saw that we had Monday and we came all the way down to the 190 mark and we bounced up, that gives me more certainty that, okay, now we're going to go up. So although I would have made more if I took assignment, I now entered a new trade on Monday, expiring next week. I've got a $190 strike, and I've received $1,090 in credit. Now, so far, to me, this still looks like a good bet. If I were to close it out today, it's already at over 50% profit, right? So if I wanted to be just sure yet again, I could have closed that out and I would have been fine. But I'm happy to let that run for longer. Credo and GLW, these were put credit spreads. They, again, exited really early. So I entered the Credo on 618. That closed 622. I entered the GLW on 622. That closed on 625. So the annualized return on these put credit spreads is massive. And I like to sprinkle credit spreads throughout this account purely for this purpose. Small amount of money in the trade, quick wins. And what do I still have open? I've got a DRAM cash secured put that is due to expire also 710, and a QQQ put credit spread. This one, if we get another day up tomorrow, this one is likely to be at its profit target tomorrow, and again, I can exit. So that is the account. So far, I've got $35,000 in trades right now, which means I've got 15 odd thousand that I can still play with. And I've recycled my capital over May and June to the point where I've used, let's call it 190,000. So had I have not been turning these trades over quickly, I would have nowhere near the return that I have. In May, this account generated me just under 4,000. In June, as you can see, 3,280 in closed out trades, right? So far, up over 8,000 with a 16.5% return just in those 2 months. So this is the power of utilizing options for a small account. I think just a little bit more intentionally. Paying attention to when we enter so that we can get these quick wins. Paying attention to when we exit as well, right? Like my Soxal trade, I exited to lock in the profit because that's what I cared about more so than getting assigned, right? And I just continue this cycle over and over again. So again, if this sounds like it's something that's of interest to you, if you want to watch me place these trades in real time, come and join us in the 50K Club. There are still a few places left at the $50. I also have opened up my mentorship again. So mentorship is for anyone of any account size. It's 3 months working with me a lot more closely. There's only ever a maximum of 10 people inside of the mentorship group. So I'll leave the link for that in the description as well. And if it's of interest, come and join us. I would love to see you in either the 50K Club or the mentorship. But I hope this was helpful. And I hope that if you are using a smaller account that you're able to implement some of these kind of strategies for yourself.